no se están cagando de momento, ¿no? O de repente aparece toda la mierda. ¿Qué pasa con las gaviotas? Pues amigos, ya lo veréis. Se cagan por todo el parque. Pero una cosa loca, ¿eh? Una cosa bastante heavy, debo decir. Es cuando abras, ¿no? Que hijos de puta, se esperan a que abra para que se caguen. Me cago en la puta. Hay que ser mala persona, coño. Aquí vamos a poner otra basurita. Porque esta zona se llena mucho de mierda. Hay que ser mala persona. Y estos baños nuevos... A ver... Hostia, ¿qué he hecho? Vale. Este baño... ¿Cómo? ¿Cuánto ocupan? Bueno, puedo ir sustituyendo, porque no me llega para todo. Espérate, que cojo el mazo. No me llega, ¿eh? Este fuera. Mira los nuevos. ¡Oh, wow, eh! Es que valen 400, ¿eh? Pues ya es bueno. Ya es baño superior, ¿eh? Esto. Bueno, hay que vayan a cagar los que paguen más. Decora. A ver, ¿qué podemos poner de decoración? No me la voy a currar. Adornos. Pues... A ver... Mira, una planta, qué bonita. Mira que... No, aquí no, que tapa. Aquí. Ya está, ¿no? Tampoco... ¿Qué más? ¿Esto qué es? Macizo de flores. Pues mira, qué bonito. Mira. Bueno, no, que ahí pondré otra cosa. Una palmerita. Pues mira. Mira aquí. ¡Ole! Una palmerita por ahí. Mira, otra aquí. Mira qué bonito. Sombrilla, mira, sombrillas nuevas. Pues mira, pues... No, le voy a quitar las anteriores. A ver, ¿qué es esto? ¡Oh! Pues aquí, mira qué bonito. ¡Pum! Y... ¡pum! ¡Oh, hay bancos nuevos! ¡80! Pero yo no quitaría los viejos. Yo pondría este, por ejemplo, aquí. ¡Pum! ¡Pum! Mira, aquí. Si alguien se quiere sentar en un sitio VIP. Con las estrellas, tú, del parque. Y luego, yo creo que ya estoy decorando. Una fuente. Pues mira, sí. Pues mira. Aquí. Vaya, me he pasado decorando, ¿no? Muy desobrado incluso, me parece. A ver. Increíble. Oye, poca broma. Bueno, la basura ahí no queda bien, debo decir. La basura. La basura aquí no es lo más bonito. Lo reconozco. Es que... Ya, es que es necesario, ¿eh? Es lo que hay. La vida es dura, amigos. Hostia, mira, el cubo más torcido. A ver, la fuente. ¡Eh! ¡Qué bonito! Suficiente. Vale, voy a comprar 2 cajas. Dos de esto. Y espérate, que mi amigo voy a abrir ahora y se pone a dormir. Es que esta tía me llega hasta los cojones. Y otra fuente aquí, porque creo que voy desobrado, ¿eh? Aquí, que esta zona... Ahí, que esta zona está muy muerta. Mira. Oh, esto, alegría, amigos, alegría. ¡Trabaja, coño! Bueno, hemos decorado un poquito. Un toboganes. Bueno, ahora lo siguiente que debería hacer, ¿qué es? Bueno, desbloquear cosas más. Tengo 3, a ver, ¿qué puedo hacer? Tengo que vender entradas para desbloquear un parque mejor. Una gramola. Que la música no pare. Toboganes modernos. Con 3. Una gramola que la música no pare. ¿Qué? 5.000. Venga la mierda, hombre. Vete a la mierda. Pero sí que podemos poner una duchita nueva por aquí, de las nuevas. Mira qué bonita. Y otra aquí, de las nuevas. Ole. Ahí va. A ver cómo son. Es que las... Hostia, perdona, perdona. No sabía que estabas tú. Bueno, pues mejor. Vale. Vamos a abrir. Si guardo y cargo la partida, las gaviotas se van, dice uno en el chat. A ver, podría hacerlo, pero muy de perro, ¿no? Lo voy a limpiar. No te preocupes. Hostia, acaban de atropellar una señora. No te preocupes, yo lo limpio. Yo no necesito trucos. Soy un crack. Vale, ahora la gente... O sea, ahora habrá menos cola, porque mucha gente compra automáticamente aquí la entrada. Bien, bien. Ahora ya hay mierda de gaviota, ¿verdad? Perdone, perdone. Vamos allá. A ver. Putas gaviotas de mierda. ¿Le grito que ha pegado uno? ¿Qué coño es? ¿Quién grita? ¿Qué es por la gaviota? ¿De verdad? ¿Le da miedo? ¿Pero qué lloran? ¿Por la mierda? ¿Les da asco? Bueno, a ver, lo entiendo, pero... Un poco para gritar, ¿no? A ver. ¿Alguien tiene miedo? ¡Mira este! ¡No ha apagado! ¡Hijo de puta! Vale, mierda de gaviota. Creo que la tenemos ya toda limpia, ¿no? No, aquí hay una. ¿Quién grita? ¿Qué ocurre? Ah, un pervertido. Pervertido por aquí. Yo creo que la caca de gaviota ya está, ¿no? Creo. Yo al menos no la veo. Mira este, mira este, mira este, mira este. Hijo de puta, se ha colado. Oye, muy bien ahora, porque la gente compra automáticamente. Bueno, la mitad de ellos. O más de la mitad, diría yo, ¿eh? Muy bien. Alguien está meando en la piscina. Te pillé, te pillé. Hijo de puta. Bueno. Bien. Muy bien ahora el tema entradas, ¿eh? Mucho mejor con la máquina de los cojones. Pero mucho. Pero mucho, mucho. Vamos a tirar basura, aunque no esté llena. Mira. Uno que huele mal, solucionado. Esto hay. ¡Hostia! Perdón, perdón. Charco. ¿Por qué lo del guante de qué sirve? ¿Para echar a alguien más rápido? Porque de un empujón ya se van. ¿De qué sirve ese guante? De decir que está al lado de la impresora. ¡Ah! Es para darles un puñetazo, ¿no? Es que no quiero más. Ah, bueno, ¿se puede poner? No. Sí, bueno, sí. A ver. Ya, mete buenas hostias, me gusta. Ya lo usaré. Trabaja, trabaja. Creo que... ¿Dónde está? Hostia, creo que la he enviado al más allá, ¿eh? ¿Dónde está? La he bugueado. 6 horas, adulto tobogán. 6 horas, jubilado tobogán. ¿Dónde está? Ah, está ahí. 4 horas, jubilado tobogán. Ya hay alguien con pánico. Aquí. ¡Tira para allá! ¡Hala! Toda la boca en el bordillo. Y uno muriéndose ahí. Ahí. ¡Trabaja! Que atienda a ella, tío. Que no son muchos. Basura. Basura. Hay alguien que mete como gritos de dolor, amigos. No entiendo qué le ocurre, la verdad. Y es un parque seguro, saludable, bonito, precioso. Ah, hay un pervertido. ¿Dónde está? Lo he escuchado, he escuchado. He escuchado la cámara. Sí. Vale, gritan cuando les hacen fotos. Normal, ¿no? Rarete, ¿no? Lo entiendo. No juzgo. Hay gente para vender entradas. Esto aquí. Eso, descansa ahora. Que no hay nadie, tío. Pum, 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 pum. Bien. Bastante fluyente todo. Me gusta. Todo fluye, amigos. Aquí reparamos. Un visitante quiere una entrada. Pues mira, trabaja. Yo no voy a atender, tío. Las dos, a trabajar, coño. Bastante bien todo. Hay alguien que tiene pánico, no te preocupes. ¡Bum! Yo te digo, si tienes pánico, ¿para qué te pones en un tobogán, no? Solo digo. ¿La fuente crea charco o es casualidad? Oye, estamos fluyendo, ¿eh? Es que a mí los simuladores no se me dan mal. No soy el mejor, pero bueno. Me defiendo. Me gustan. Me pico mucho. ¿Qué? ¿Qué? Bueno. Es decir esto y pasan cosas. Vale. Qué bien esto de las entradas automáticas, ¿eh? ¡Qué maravilla! ¡Qué rico! Te pillé, cabrón. No había pagado ese. Vale. Estoy sorprendido por cómo fluye el parque, amigos. Estoy bastante sorprendido. Sé que vosotros también no confiabais en mí. Como siempre. ¡Cerdo! Ahora voy a poner una bolsa basura. Aquí hay que poner un contenedor pequeñito allí. No sé por qué no lo he hecho antes. De hecho, chupar. A la mierda. Sí. Pum. Y raca. Espectacular. O sea, miedo. Miedo.
Por favor, pinta las ventanas de la recepción. Ya no puedo verlas oxidadas.
¡A trabajar,
Gracias,
coño!
viejo óforo.
¿Dónde está mi
Te queremos
cena?
en Panamá.
Que pinte que las ventanas. Vale. Ahora, luego me liaré con esas cosas. Arco. ¿Puede apartar, por favor, señor? Gracias. Mi amigo, mire cómo se mete en el agua a reparar, ¿eh? Es increíble. Fuera. Es una cosa. Cositas. Sí, se mete dentro del agua con un martillo, aguantando la respiración, ¿eh? Oh, wow. Y se va. Bueno, es que... ¿esta por qué está enfadada? Bueno, no sé. Hija de puta. Hija de puta. Hija de la grandísima perra. No me fijo en las manos, amigos, de si llevan la botella esa o no, la verdad. No me he fijado. Vale, pues se acabó el día de hoy. Bien, bien, bien. Bien rico. Venga, todo el mundo fuera de mi parque. Creo que los que tienen el emoji del diablo y no los puedes echar son los que te hacen los grafitos. Pero si les pego se van, ¿no? Construye contenedores de basura con al menos 2 estrellas. Pero eso no los tengo. Señor, hemos cerrado. Tenía tanto miedo que se ha quedado, bueno, un poquito paralizado, la verdad. Qué barbaridad. 5 contenedores. Pero no los tengo, ¿no? Contenedores de al menos 2 estrellas no los tengo. Los tendré que desbloquear. A ver, tengo 7.
Bueno,
Yo creo que sí que puedo, ¿no?
¿Qué tal todo?
Buenas.
¿Le podrías mandar un saludo a mi amigo que cumple años hoy? Se llama Joshua.
¡Joshua! Un saludito para él. Hostia, esto está bien. Mejora la fregona. ¿Y dónde está lo de contenedores? ¿Dónde está lo de contenedores más modernos? En parque, ¿sabes? Papeleras. Deja que el personal se encargue. Los vendedores, vale, ahora tengo vendedores y papeleras modernas. Y me quedo sin puntos. Las fuentes van dentro del agua. O sea, esto va aquí dentro. Es que de verdad necesitas cosas. Claro. Si es que de verdad, ¿no pensáis? Mira. Vale. Y ahora, contenedores de nivel 2. A ver, son más bonitos. Sí, voy a quitar esos. Y voy a... Este lo quito. Y este. Un poco justo aquí. Así. Si no, no se puede pasar, tío. Vale, pues voy a eliminar. Coño. Bueno, tampoco... No tengo muchos, pero habrá que poner más. Este fuera. Que tengo que poner 5 para seguir con la misión principal del juego. Esos no, sí, son estos. Si os fijáis, está subiendo el objetivo. Pues mira, voy a poner otro aquí. Sí que son, sí. 3. 4. Luego si hace falta lo quito, ¿eh? Solo para completar la misión esta. Vacía las papeleras. Ahora los podría quitar, de hecho, ya. Bueno, bueno. Muy bien, amigos. Muy bien. Pero me voy a ir a la verga, que son las 9. Guardar partida. Partida guardada. Partida guardada. Salir al escritorio. Amigos. Hostia, qué vicio este juego, 3 horas que me han pasado. Madre mía. Como si en otro juego llevara 750.000. Qué barbaridad. Bueno, amigos, me voy. Mañana seguramente haré descansito. Y seguramente nos volveremos a ver el domingo. Pero bueno, cualquier cosa os digo por Instagram o por WhatsApp. Grupo de WhatsApp, ¿vale? No os voy a enviar un WhatsApp personalmente. Bueno, o sí, más o menos es lo mismo. Amigos, buen fin de semana. Sean felices y sean buenos.
administration over 4 years, but now suddenly they can't do it. There's one reason and one reason alone that this fight is being waged right now. They're trying to prove themselves to the Marxist left base of the Democrat Party. Plain and simple. Chuck Schumer made this decision because he's afraid that AOC or one of the Marxists are going to challenge him in his next Senate re-election bid, and that's why he's doing this. Selfishly.
I'm confused. I thought he was a Palestinian Marxist himself. Wait, so Chuck Schumer's not a commie? Interesting. I thought he was like the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine type guy. The way Trump talks about Chuck. Calls him a Palestinian, calls him a commie, calls him a socialist. Since when is he just like a moderate? When is he a moderate Democrat? There's a distinction between moderate Democrats and Marxist Democrats, which, by the way, who the fuck is a Marxist Democrat? Holy shit. I wish. I had to listen to my hairstylist talk about how the government shut down because migrants want health care. I said, no, that's not possible. They cannot get health care. She was insistent that they can. This shows how people get their talking points from liars. Even stating logical facts isn't working anymore. I mean, dude. You just have to walk them through it. Ask them how. Okay? Ask them how. They don't have, like, a couple follow-up questions and they're going to buckle. Because, one, it's untrue. And two, they never scratch the surface. They just go off of like, well, they do. I believe it. That's it. Be like, how? How do they?
And
Your
very
middle
dangerously
tower
for the
is
American
under
people.
attack.
Let's listen to AOC. This is what she said.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is what Republicans love to do. Whenever
middle tower
we
is under attack.
fight to elevate the minimum wage, to expand Social Security, to make healthcare better in this country, in order to derail that, Republicans love to dangle this shiny object that says, but what if someone not like you gets it?
My coworkers say they have fake identification. Oh my god. Dog pills. Thank you for the 50 gifted subs. What the fuck is a dog pill?
Your bottom tower is under attack.
A weird username, but I like it.
Okay, you work with Hakeem Jeffries and you work with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Who do you think is a better communicator?
Well, she's way better on social media, and she gets all the attention. But remember what she stands for, okay? She is the most vocal opponent for Mamdani, who's about to be elected.
The Republicans have flown too close to the sun. My normie mom asked, do they want us to believe that Dems are trying to give universal health care to undocumented immigrants?
A fine solution.
That's... Yeah, no, they don't have fucking... Guys, for the record, no, like... Undocumented migrants are not running around with fake IDs and getting fucking health care, okay? Like, there's 12 million undocumented migrants in this country. Do some of them have fake IDs and shit? Certainly, okay? Are they capable of going into a government office with a fake ID and getting fucking Medicaid? You're out of your goddamn mind, dude. That's not how any of this works.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Like, having a fake social security card doesn't mean that you're like in the fucking real database. You can't just like
Your bottom tower
fake
is
this
under
stuff.
attack.
You can't just go and get... Also, that's not even what these guys are saying,
Your
for the
top tower
record.
is under
That's
attack.
not even what these guys are saying. Like, not only did your hairdresser in this hypothetical scenario made that shit up, they're saying Democrats want to fund undocumented immigrants directly. Not like undocumented immigrants are getting together and like creating a system of fake IDs so they can get like fake Medicaid that they're not supposed to get. They're saying Democrats have written into the law that we want to give undocumented migrants health care. So that's a totally separate thing that is also not a real problem at all. One of the craziest parts about this is Medicaid and Medicare fraud does happen, okay? But it happens at the point of the provider. It does not happen at the point of, like, individuals committing Medicare fraud by taking government healthcare, government funds that they actually are not entitled to. Okay? Rick Scott is a great example. I will not be repeating what I've said in the past. Ironically enough, when I was responding to Mike Johnson last time, he was talking about how he's going to cut $800 billion in Medicaid funding while claiming he was actually going after fraud, waste, and abuse.
Tower is under attack.
Okay?
Radiant structures are fortified.
But the reality of the matter is, just like with voter fraud does not happen at the point of individuals illegally voting. Election fraud is what happens at the point of systems making it harder for people to go out and vote, for example. Okay, voter suppression. Republicans love reframing the narrative. They are oftentimes the ones who are defending Medicare fraud that is happening at the point of providers, like Rick Scott did, right? While simultaneously shifting the blame back to, like, regular Americans. And they do this with pretty much everything. Election suppression is a real issue. In order to justify election suppression, voter suppression, Republicans falsely claim that there are a ton of people who are going around and voting fucking illegally. This is not the case. This is not the reality at all. It's just completely made up. It's a completely made up narrative. Always the same shit.
Apparently mayor of America's largest city and the cradle of capitalism. These people are Marxists. They want the government to take over and run everything. And what that means for you, listen, every American citizen, you surrender your freedom for the government to take over. It never works. It's destructive and it is anti-American. And they are advancing something that their parents' generation of Democrats would have soundly rejected. This is not your father's Democratic Party. These people are dangerous to our system, and everybody needs to wake up and understand that. I don't care what they put on social media. You need to look at the philosophy behind that. And we're fighting to preserve freedom of the greatest nation in the history of the world that we celebrate 250 years next year. We've got to defend it. That freedom is not inherited in the bloodstream.
Yeah, we have a big vote here in New York in 4.5 weeks. Coming up to it. Can I ask you of these 7 moderate Democrats?
Yeah, we're defending your freedom to fucking die, okay? Your freedom. Guys, come on. This is the freest nation on earth where you're free to choose one of the 2 healthcare providers that we have offered you. Okay? Wake up.
Your top tower is under attack.
Wake up, guys. Don't you love that freedom? Don't you love the freedom of being saddled with medical debt instead of having the scary government actually offer single-payer health care? Why aren't you talk about the flotilla? It's because I'm scared to talk about it. It's because Israel's paying me $8,000 every minute that I don't talk about the flotilla.
Your top tower is under attack.
Stop fucking up the bag for me, chatter.
Subscribe to us. Have you heard from any of them? Is there a crack?
Your top tower has fallen.
Well, we hope so. I talked to Leader Thune late last night. They're working on that. They're hopeful that some of them will come to their senses. They don't want to be blamed for the destruction that's being wrought. There's real people being hurt right now. We have women, infants, and children nutrition programs that are now not funded. You have veterans health services that are not funded. FEMA.
He's gonna nut if he talks more about all of the not funded programs for the working class. This is extremely his shit, okay? He loves this. He's like, oh, hell yeah.
Many of their services are stalled right now in the middle of a hurricane season. You got troops and TSA agents and Border Patrol agents serving us right now, defending the country without pay.
Well, you make an
ridiculous.
interesting argument with that. Does this vote, does it actually pass today and shock the world?
Well, I certainly hope so. I'm praying that this ends quickly because this is
No, I get it,
wrong
but is that a
to do
yes
that.
or a no for today's vote?
Well, I don't know. I'm not in the Senate, but I'm trying to read the tea leaves as everybody else. I think there are cracks, and I think more Democrats will come along, and I hope they do it sooner than later.
Zooming out, just one last question from me. Kim Strassel this morning in the Wall Street Journal, she talks about Republicans' health care policy and the messaging. Do you agree with her that the Republicans are?
It just doesn't make any sense because, like, on the one hand, they're advocating to cut these programs, and on the other hand, he's like, well, we can't even fund these programs right now. Isn't that damaging? It's like, okay, well, that sounds a lot like socialism to me, big dog. Maybe we should keep the government shut down then, I guess, you know? Which is it? Is that socialist Marxism that you're talking about over there that you want to fucking... that you want to fund all these programs? Isn't that socialism, that Marxism that you're talking about and how scary that is? Not your father's Democrat Party?
Weak, vulnerable on healthcare policy at this moment when a lot of Americans are saying they are worried about the high prices, but there's just very little discussion about why the prices are so high.
Exactly. We're all concerned about that, but if they look at the facts, Republicans are the ones that are solving the problem. In the big, beautiful bill, when we put the reforms in for Medicaid, what we've done is brought down the premiums, and we have eliminated the fraud, waste, and abuse. The CBO is the analyst that just put that out. August 25th, they look it up, and they said the CBO is not a Republican group. They're the neutral arbiters here. And they say the Republicans are wrong because what we did, we saved $185 billion of waste and abuse in the program with our reform. And we're going to get 2.3 ineligible recipients off of it. That's those illegal aliens. That's the young, able-bodied men.
But what about
who are
people
siphoning
people who are not on Medicaid, people who are either on the Obama exchanges or are worried they're going to lose their employee-sponsored health insurance?
Yes, we have a lot of reforms that we need to push through to build government and further subsidize insurance companies, which is exactly what those subsidies do. It doesn't help the ingredients then. We got to do it for the people, not for the insurance companies.
Sir, thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming on. And, I don't know, what do you get? 3 hours of sleep a night?
Probably. We'll just listen to the Taylor Swift album. You'll be fine. Stay up all night.
Right, sure.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Speaker Johnson, appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
You're getting new reports about a chilling and downright shocking escalation of ICE tactics against the residents of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes and zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids were crying. People were screaming. They was very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them really right
ICE put out a statement saying they were pursuing Nicaragua gang members. But
again, fake bullshit. This already happened. This happened under the, if you recall, this started in Aurora. The idea that there's like Trendaragua at one of these like low-income housing properties. That's the new meta now. When the landlords want to do like massive increases, the government comes in and does like a little sweep. Just, this is where we're at. And the thing is, like, I don't know. I don't know the background of all the people that they apprehended. But I do know the area, and I do know the type of housing. And the reality of the matter is, even like the documented citizens in that low-income housing are they don't exactly have a solid defense. They don't have a direct line to their local representatives. Like, they are literally some of the most marginalized people in Black Chicago. So obviously, you can get away with doing endless cruelty to all of those people, both the citizens and non-citizens alike. All of this is completely unconstitutional. I highly, highly doubt that they got individual warrants for every single, and not administrative warrants, judicial warrants. Because an administrative warrant is not the same as a judicial warrant. Like, you can't just fucking enter someone's property, for example. But at this point, they don't even give a shit. At this point, they could just do whatever the fuck they want. When it comes to ICE, they could just like do Gestapo shit. In the United States of America, you have certain laws. Like, you are supposed to be protected from exactly this kind of nonsense. Even if you are an undocumented migrant, you do not have any obligation to open a door to ICE.
Yes.
Or at least that was the case. It's a Fourth Amendment violation for ICE to just come over and be like, open the door right now, or just like bust through your door without the proper warrant. Federal agents detained 4 children who are U.S. citizens during an ICE raid this week in South Shore, according to a report. The children were held until they could be placed in the care of guardians, according to the New York Times report, which cited the Department of Homeland Security. No further details were immediately available. This is not the first time federal agents have detained a U.S. citizen since launching Operation Midway Blitz and at large in September, seeking to increase immigration enforcement in Chicago and throughout Illinois. But it is the first time they've publicly acknowledged detaining American children during the operation. The raid happened early Tuesday at an apartment building at 7500 South Shore Drive. The Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said federal agencies arrested at least 37 people in operations at the building, which they claimed is frequented by members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. They also said in the process of doing that they were just a collaborative law enforcement raid with like FBI and shit, and that if anyone had any sort of warrant whatsoever, they would also get arrested. It had nothing to do with immigration whatsoever. You understand how psychotic that is? That's the federal government going to a black neighborhood and saying, go into those projects right there, bust down every door, throw out all the shit that people own, and arrest whoever has any warrant whatsoever. Like, you're detain and arrest every single person, which is what they did, and then sort it out after the fact. Nothing new though? Oh, get the fuck out of here. No, that is new. Are you fucking insane? Of course that's new. No, that's dragnets, chatter. No, let's be fucking real, okay? Police disproportionately targeting black neighborhoods and creating fake crimes at the point of the individual to apprehend them and detain them, that's an ever-present part of this process. But no, going into an entire fucking block and busting down every fucking door? Are you kidding me? That is absolutely a new thing. That's what is called a dragnet. That is unprecedented. It's kind of new. They did this in the 1980s. I mean, they blew up a fucking city block in the 1980s as well. Okay? They did. I know. Oh, God. 1985 move bombing. Read up on it. Christ. No, dude. The local law enforcement going in and dropping C4 from a helicopter against the Africa family, okay, in Pennsylvania, is not the same as like routine practice of dragnets. Like, how many other fucking city bombings have happened since then? Like, what are you talking about? You're acting like it's not Gaza. That was similar to what Israel does in Gaza. Damn near identical, okay?
The last straw.
And it was a horrifying incident. I'm not downplaying that at all. But that's like, there's a difference between that and the federal government openly saying, we are going to go into poor neighborhoods where we suspect black and brown people are living, and we're just going to bust everyone's doors. Okay, you're comparing what used to be somewhat of a policy, like in the Tulsa City Massacre, or, the bombing of Black Wall Street and numerous other black neighborhoods that were destroyed. All the way up until like the civil rights struggle, and then the move bombing, to what this government is now openly sequencing out as like a normal part of its law enforcement. Dragnet. Like, there is a
fine solution.
This is a new level. This is a new level of cruelty, because they are saying this is normal law enforcement. Okay, this is a part of the normal mechanism of the law enforcement. You talked about Trump so much, you're starting to look like him.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
I don't know why I'm so fucking orange. I don't know. Or purple. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's the white balance,
que eu vou jogar
not
um bocado em
the
você.
exposure. Yeah, you're right.
Tide has turned.
Is that better? I feel like
Middle tower is under attack.
I'd rather go orange than purple.
Your middle barracks are under attack.
Dangerous waters.
He's orange for an amazing reason. Okay, shut up.
Your middle barracks
It's
are
warm.
under attack. Your middle
Purple was not
barracks
warm. He's orange for an amazing reason. Aren't they breaking into all the homes, or the homes they have warrants for? All the homes. Bro, they went in. I don't know how to explain this. Chris Hayes already did. They went in to low-income housing in an apartment complex. After the landlord lied and said, "Oh, there's Trendaragua here," just like they did in Aurora, Colorado.
Your middle tower is under attack.
They went into the apartment complex and basically busted down the doors of every single house and apprehended everyone. You're just exhausted. I am exhausted.
Waters rising.
Armed federal agents and military fatigue busted down their doors overnight, pulling men, women, and children from their apartments, some of them naked. Residents and witnesses said agents approached or entered nearly every apartment in the 5-story building, and U.S. citizens were among those detained for hours. When he got home from work, Jones said he entered his unit to find all of his electronics and furniture missing and all of his clothes and shoes thrown on the floor. Jones said he had no idea who took his belongings and hadn't received answers from the Chicago police. "I'm pissed off," Jones said. "I feel defeated because the authorities aren't doing anything." On Wednesday, toys, shoes, and food were still in the piles in the building's hallways. Property managers were seen throwing mattresses and broken doors in the dumpsters.
Your
The
top
DHS
tower
said
is
federal
under
agents
attack.
reported that the FBI and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms Administration arrested 37 people in the raid. The DHS said some of those arrested are believed to be involved in drug trafficking, weapons crime, and immigration violations. One of these things is not like the others. That is a crazy, crazy thing. Oh, some of these guys are believed to be involved in drug trafficking, and also some of them are just, you know, they're in the process of getting their documentation. They're in the process of getting their paperwork.
What would you say to the people who are against your operations right now when you're going to do something like this to keep the community safe? What would you say to those people who are saying, you know, calling you guys to stop them, things like that?
Now has negative rounds.
What would you say to them?
You know, I think the first thing I would say is how about you
Your middle tower is under attack.
partner next door to trained Aragua members that are trafficking, prostitution, guns.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Okay, except these people are living next to the people that you're claiming that they're Trendaragua, and they were like, they're fucking chill-ass neighbors, and they definitely weren't Trendaragua. But of course, once again, because the neighborhood where the undocumented and the documented alike live together is poor, it doesn't matter. So obviously, they also are criminals themselves. Do you get it?
And taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way. Why don't you live next to them and then see how much of a Gestapo or a Nazi we are?
What's the end game here? What's the goal?
Well, the end game tonight, obviously, is to make that area a safe place. We're going to remove all illegal aliens, especially if it's trained Aragua, but any and all illegal aliens, and that's going to make this community a safer place.
After the Des Moines incident, can we finally accept that immigrants aren't just Latino? I mean, I've been saying that, for the record. I've been saying that. Like, one of the first things that they fucking did was talk about the Haitians on TPS is like, as though they were undocumented migrants. That's why I was so mad when people are like, I'm tired. They said, Haitian migrants, refugee seekers that have temporary protected status and the proper work authorization to live and work on U.S. soil were illegal aliens that were eating cats and dogs. Okay, so obviously anyone who thought that this wasn't going to impact black people was maybe a little crazy. When has the American law enforcement ever been like, oh, you know what? We've moved past shitting on black people. We're just going after Mexicans only. Okay.
U.S. citizens living in the building say they were detained too. The cops told them that if they had any unrelated warrants, they wouldn't be going back home. 37 people were ultimately arrested after agents separated children from their parents on the street. And if you're looking at this and asking yourself, how is this legal? That is the right question to ask. And it has kind of an answer. And to understand it, you have to go back to Los Angeles this summer, where federal immigration agents started pushing the envelope on orders from the White House. They raided Home Depot parking lots and Walmart lots, and they grabbed people they saw. Near one Home Depot, masked agents with batons grabbed Narcisco Barranco, who has lived in the U.S. for more than 30 years and has 3 sons serving in the Marine Corps. Agents beat Barranco on the ground, dislocating his shoulder before detaining him. In Van Nuys, agents raided a car wash, remembering this, sending patrons and workers scrambling before the 79-year-old owner, who is a U.S. citizen named Rafi, tried to ask them what they were doing.
That is when...
Remember what I told you guys yesterday at the protest where, like, there is this understanding in the United States of America that, like, you're not supposed to ask cops questions or bother them or assume that they're human beings at all. And in the process of treating them like human beings and being like, what the fuck are you guys doing? If you get your ass beat, most Americans will look at that and go, no, you deserved it. How dare you ask? How dare you ask a cop what he was up to? What are you, crazy? That's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. We are so servile, so subservient as a country, as our culture. Oh, you're just obstructing justice. You deserve it. Fucking ridiculous.
Was taken down by agents and eventually handcuffed. Rafi says he was injured in the process.
And they sit on me. This is my elbow about a week ago. And this is my arm.
Rafi says he and 5 others at his car wash were taken to a federal detention center downtown. We're still working to learn more about why they were detained.
And that man is not alone.
Look how you got my hand. You're twisting that. I'm American, bro. Yo, these guys are literally based off of skin color. My homie was born here just because of the way he looks.
Agents kept stopping people they suspected of being undocumented immigrants for no reason other than they weren't obviously white. Like Brian Gavidia, the man you saw there, the 29-year-old American. He wasn't arrested, but he says agents went through his phone for 20 minutes and kept his real ID card. Now, these are obvious violations of people's core constitutional civil rights, their right to equal protection and the freedom from unlawful searches and seizures. And victims filed a class action lawsuit. And after an entire bench trial, a federal judge sided with those victims and ended the ICE sweeps. And in her ruling, she wrote, "It is illegal to conduct roving patrols which identify people based upon race alone, aggressively question them, and then detain them without a warrant, without their consent, and without reasonable suspicion that they are with status." Yes, it is. Yes, it is. An appeals court upheld her injunction against ICE. You have to stop doing this. And so the Trump administration took the issue to the Supreme Court. And lo and behold, last month, the court's 6-3 conservative majority voted to just let Trump and ICE continue for now, as the case works its way up, to use racial profiling in their immigration raids, halting the lower court's decision, saying, go ahead. Now, they gave no reasoning or explanation for their decision, silent, except Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who wrote a short concurring opinion saying there's absolutely no problem whatsoever with racially motivated stops by law enforcement. Quote, if the officers learn the individual they stopped is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the U.S., they promptly let the individual go. Welcome to the era of what critics call the Kavanaugh stop.
Yep. That's what they're calling it. Stop and frisk on steroids. Universalized. I love the liberal assumption that the purpose of ICE has literally ever been anything else. I know. Don't get me fucking started. Dude. If an undocumented migrant is doing a crime, you fucking arrest them and you prosecute them. And depending on the type of crime, you either deport them or you throw them in jail. Okay? Just like anybody else. There is a reason why. Border crossings are treated differently than actual fucking violent crimes or any crimes at all. Because it's not like a real crime. It's one that could be dealt with through paperwork. Like not having the appropriate paperwork is not a fucking crime as severe as like murdering people or engaging in a hit and run. It's a permitting problem. It's a documentation problem. It is ridiculous. And is treated as though it is the most heinous of crimes.
Carte blanche for ICE to continue violent, warrantless raids and stops all over the country to undocumented immigrants, lawful residents, and American citizens alike. Like Leonardo Garcia Venegas. You see him there, being cuffed roughly by ICE agents on a construction site where he was working. Vargas showed the agents his real ID as proof of citizenship, and they told him he was lying. And it took hours to get him out of custody, so not exactly expeditious. And then, get this, 2 weeks later, ICE arrested him again at another work site. He's now suing the government. The consequence of all this is what we're seeing now in the dead of night in Chicago. Dozens of federal agents raiding an entire apartment building with kids in it just to see what they can find. It's the most egregious abuse of our basic rights as Americans I've seen in a long time, maybe my lifetime. And it comes 2 weeks after Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem posted a hype video of another.
I agree with your sentiment, but I don't like the argument. Just because it's a document issue doesn't mean it's not bad. Like, tax fraud is technically just a document issue, and a conservative could make the same argument about that. Proportional response. Proportional response. Proportional response. Mass apprehensions or any sort of detainment and deportation process is an inherently violent endeavor. In order to justify the state violence in this situation, you must first establish why it is a necessity. Are these guys actually doing a heinous crime? Tax evasion is a serious crime because tax evasion actually steals from the government coffers, okay? And if more and more people were to do it, or if anyone were to do it, really, which, by the way, who the fuck gets arrested for tax evasion in this fucking country? Holy shit. But tax fraud and tax evasion is theft from the government. You are stealing from your fellow citizens money that should be going back to all of these resources that must be funded. You do not have an argument for why these people should be apprehended and detained if they are not doing anything wrong. Okay? What is the argument? Republicans don't have a real argument as to why they have to mass detain and mass deport. This is the reason why they lie about the argument. They lie to make up a reason. And that lie is that these guys are all actually engaging in heinous crimes at alarming rates. Okay? This would be the equivalent of beating the fuck out of someone and ripping them away from their families for putting in a new bathroom without getting the proper permit. Okay? Putting in a new bathroom in your home without getting the proper permit could be damaging in the long run, because not having the proper issuance of the permit implies that, like, you might have had like substandard safety standards, and maybe later down the line you might actually rent that property to someone, and then that person can I don't know, fucking die on the toilet or something, right? Like, whatever. There could be something that is harmful to the public later down the line, but even then it still doesn't justify this level of apprehension. No one would ever say this is totally appropriate. You are absolutely allowed to deport someone or detain them for building a fucking additional bathroom in their house without getting the proper permits for it. Okay? What the fuck was that example? I'm just trying to use a I'm just trying to use an example that is like that is also like relatively harmless.
Violent ICE raid with helicopters and grenades, this time on a house in the Chicago.
Hamas response just dropped. Breaking. Hamas' statement in response to Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza. We appreciate President Trump's efforts to bring an end to the war. We agree to release all hostages in order to achieve permanent ceasefire. We are ready to enter immediately into negotiations to discuss the details. We agree to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body of independent, unaffiliated figures. Okay, that's literally what they originally said. Yeah, Hamas is also saying, yes, once again, we agree. And then Israel's going to say, no, 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 not like that. Watch this space. Dying on the toilet, harmless? No, no, no. I'm trying to explain why, like, building something without a permit could be harmful in the long run, okay? And as to why that code exists, or as to why that, like, law exists. But under no circumstance would the treatment of someone who is engaging in this kind of action is going to be apprehended in a similar violent way and have all of their fucking human rights revoked in the process. And then everyone will go, yeah, no, that's actually appropriate. That's totally fine. There needs to be a degree of proportionality. And there is no proportionality here. It's just completely ridiculous. A lot of people are going to be dying on the toilet with the food deregulation. Also true. You'll be seeing more and more of this. Many people are saying more and more people are going to be dying on the toilets now that the food is poison because we crippled the FDA.
Suburbs. And guess what? 2 U.S. citizens were mistakenly arrested. You know, there's a reason the American founders put the right to be free from unlawful searches and seizures in the Bill of Rights from the start. Masked secret police profiling people and now targeting entire apartment buildings, making everyone prove they're not guilty of something, is the province of tyrants. It is the opposite of American. And I don't think Americans will stand for it, nor should they.
Protest.
Right now, they kind of are standing for it. Like, by and large, it's just like the areas that are impacted by these kinds of targeted raids that are actually showcasing discontent. But that's pretty much it. Jailing a pregnant woman while she's in labor because she sped to the ER. Libs are literally passing laws allowing this. Liberals have also participated in offering additional funds to the fucking ICE agents, okay? They have never clawed back. They have never even tried. They've never even attempted to claw back some of these restrictions. They are absolutely responsible for this as well. Full text of the Hamas response to Trump. Okay, we'll get to this breaking news story right now. As you guys know, there was a fake peace plan that was put forward. The peace plan had a bunch of additional Benjamin Netanyahu provisions added onto it. All of the Arab states that actually participated in the peace plan, which once again had very little Palestinian input, no Palestinian input whatsoever. All the Arab countries actually came out and said, what the fuck? America, you just added a bunch of random shit to this like so-called 21-point peace plan that was not initially on the agreement that we put together. What the fuck's that about? Turns out it was Benjamin Netanyahu that added those provisions. But it also doesn't end there. Benjamin Netanyahu literally left the White House like 20 minutes after they did that joint press conference. He left the White House and delivered a speech in Hebrew to the Israeli audience, to the Israeli population, saying, don't worry, this peace plan is fucking bullshit. We're going to keep killing them. Okay? And I said that this was, again, not about like ending this bloodshed, but instead simply managing the PR of Israel as it continues with this bloodshed. Now, of course, yeah, he was on the White House lawn when he delivered that speech. I know. Now, there were many different, like, insane provisions added onto that. Hamas has seemingly taken the bluff and once again said, sure, we'll bite. Regarding Hamas's response to the proposal of the U.S. President Trump, out of concern to stop the aggression and the genocide being inflicted upon our steadfast people in the Gaza Strip, and based on national responsibility and commitment to the principles, rights, and supreme interests of our people, the Islamic resistance movement, Hamas, conducted in-depth consultations with its leadership bodies, extensive consultations with the Palestinian forces and factions, as well as discussions with brotherly mediators and friends in order to reach a responsible position in dealing with the plan proposed by U.S. President Donald Trump. After thorough study, the movement has made its decision and has delivered the following response to the brotherly mediators. The Islamic resistance movement, Hamas, appreciates the Arab, Islamic, and international efforts, as well as the efforts of U.S. President Donald Trump aimed at halting the war in the Gaza Strip, achieving a prisoner exchange, allowing immediate entry of humanitarian aid, rejecting the occupation of the Strip, and opposing the displacement of Palestinian people from it. In this context, and in a manner that achieves an end to the war and the full withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, the movement announces its approval to release all prisoners of the occupation, both living and the bodies of the deceased, according to the exchange formula included in President Trump's proposal, and with the provisions of appropriate field conditions for carrying out the exchange process. In this regard, the movement affirms its readiness to immediately enter into negotiations through the mediators to discuss the details. The movement also reiterates its approval to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body composed of independents, technocrats, based on Palestinian national consensus and supported by Arab and Islamic backing. Now, once again, all of this is the Hamas proposal. This was the Hamas proposal. Hamas said that they would disband politically, not disarm, of course, but disband politically and allow a Palestinian technocratic committee to rule the Strip. However, the Trump peace process, the 21-point program, does not actually do any of those things. The Trump peace program wants there to be a Palestinian committee that is still beholden to Donald Trump and Tony Blair. Now, Tony Blair obviously is a major ally to Israel. He is basically the stand-in for Israel there. He is the stand-in for Western interests here. He is the stand-in for Israel here. And therefore, it would render the technocratic Palestinian committee useless. Okay? Once again, removing autonomy and sovereignty and dignity from the Palestinian population. Okay? Also, I am noticing a lack of statements about disarmament, which was a non-starter, understandable, for not only Hamas, but the Palestinian population in its entirety. As for the other issues included in the President Trump's proposal that relate to the future of the Gaza Strip and the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, these are subjects to a comprehensive national position and must be passed on relevant international laws and resolutions. These matters shall be discussed within a unified Palestinian national framework in which Hamas will participate and contribute with full responsibility. The Islamic resistance movement, Hamas. Did we lose the rewind function already? Wait, you did already? This response is the most perfect possible response they could have to this. I admire their strategic consistency in the face of all this horror. Yeah, but they're not gonna not gonna bite. This comes after President Donald Trump gave Hamas a 6 p.m. Sunday deadline to agree to a deal, or else. POTUS, an agreement must be reached by Hamas by Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Washington, D.C. time. Every country has signed on. If this last chance agreement is not reached, all hell, like no one has ever seen before, will break out against Hamas. That's what he said. So, make no mistake, a senior Hamas official released this statement, and the statement is basically a reiteration of what Hamas has already said. Yeah, Hamas says it accepts some elements of Trump's peace plan, but that others require further negotiation. Except this is their proposal. This has been their proposal. This is not different than previous proposals. Do you understand? This has been the proposal from Hamas for almost a fucking year, for longer than a year at this point. Meanwhile, Israel has announced that anyone that remains in Gaza City will be treated as a terrorist. Why has no one asked, why are we negotiating an end to the genocide? So many outlets are misreading this statement and leaving important details out. Hamas agrees to hand over hostages under the Trump peace plan for Gaza. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand what Hamas is saying here. Okay? They're looking at Hamas agreeing to their concessions that they've made already and simply assuming that this is a full-blown recognition of the Trump peace proposal. Okay? One that Trump lied about, by the way, when he claimed he sent over to Hamas envoys anyway. They never did. This was basically put together by every party except for the Palestinians. Having said that, however, some of the inclusions in that proposal, the ones that Hamas agreed to here, were already concessions that Hamas had negotiated on and accepted, conditions that Hamas had accepted prior to this Gaza peace proposal. Now, the very fact that they are making it seem as though it's up to Hamas to end this genocide is also insane, because Israel is doing the genocide. Hamas is not doing the genocide. It is Israel that's doing the genocide. So it's up to Israel to stop the genocide, which we all know they don't want to. Why do you think they don't want to? Because I have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a working brain in between them. And I have seen what Israel has done for the past 23 months. Because I've heard Israel speak. I meant explain for someone not knowing a lot. Israel has time and time again said they have no interest in actually doing any negotiation with Hamas whatsoever, openly, and that their desire is permanent ethnic displacement and ethnic cleansing and genocide. For the last 23 months, there have been numerous reasonable proposals that Hamas has put forward, proposals that America has taken and claimed Israel was offering, as a matter of fact. Israel has always added a last-second poison pill provision out of nowhere after they agree to their own fucking ceasefire, supposedly, and have decided, actually, you know what? We're going to continue fucking fighting. Israel has also killed negotiators like Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. Ah, but I've heard the Bibi guy say he does not like war. Okay. Adolf Hitler has said he doesn't like bloodshed either. Good point. Killing in Qatar, I see it now. No. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about blowing up Ismail Haniyeh in fucking Tehran. The Qatar one is recent. I can't tell if this guy is like trolling or not, or if there's a person who found themselves in my community at this stage and still goes, I don't know, well, BB said, I mean, okay, I will watch more and learn. Okay, respect. This guy is awesome. He's the most open-minded aloof guy I have ever met. Al Jazeera is covering the Hamas response.
understand other people's side, and as I'm getting older, I'm just like seeing like I just don't think I'll ever care enough again for any other politician ever in the future, just because it's like at the end of the day, bro, like humans, we're all humans, you know. And it's just, I had a call with somebody on my team. Can I tell you guys something?
Oh, well, human, true. What is that? Oh, what was that? They got the burger and shit. Yo, not my president. I can't vote. Didn't vote. I'm just a fucking lonely Canadian, wondering who the fuck is my prime minister. Okay, I don't even know. We had Trudeau. We had the whatever. Chad says now we have Barney. I don't even know what the fuck that is. The people didn't vote for that. I don't even know what the fuck is going on here, man. Call me, whatever the fuck, I don't know. That's crazy. Oh, he's a chatter? Wait, he chats here actually? Oh, the Prime Minister watched my stream? Okay. Well, get to work, buddy. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing here. You get to work, buddy. Fix my country. Okay.
The impact of super.
I'm not watching. Guys, fun games. What are we doing games today? Guys, I'm very hungry and I need to finish my meal. Can I please watch something real quick?
3 cool.
What about this one? Is this good? There's one slum video.
March 16th,
Oh,
2024,
video?
just after 10 p.m., officers with the Macomb Police Department in Illinois were dispatched to an apartment complex following multiple reports of a woman screaming. The nature of the disturbance was unclear, but callers indicated it was still actively unfolding. With limited information and urgency rising, officers advanced toward the apartment complex. Unknown to them at the time, the horrific events about to unfold would change their lives forever.
Central 113, 1060.
Oh. And they got the keys to this, huh? What, did they got master keys?
Are you trying Black Ops 7 beta? Sub XQC, are you a kid or you are not a kid?
I think I'm like, I'm an adult by age.
Hey, it's your Prime Minister here, be careful what you say or no more power hour, little
police, open the door. Huh?
"16 minutes into stream, instant cop slot record, let's go into politics next, Bogu.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
What kind of sandwich, pal?
Jesus! Hello? Yup! That's crazy! That's crazy!
Oh,
Jesus! Because I thought we were gonna watch a normal intro video. I'm eating my food. Okay, but fuck it. I'm not eating my food anymore. Oh my god!
I need you to sit down. Go around back.
Hey, are you good?
No, I'm not.
You want me to stick with you? Talk to me, brother. Are they secure there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna hang out with you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm right here with you, okay? You want to sit or you want to keep it? You want to stand?
What, did he miss her?
Hey. 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 Listen. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Decisions were made that were out of your control, okay? You did what you did. I don't know what happened, okay? So I don't want to go into it. But listen, trust that you made the right call, okay? To protect you and yours, okay? Don't question your judgment. Don't do that to yourself. You can't control what other people do and the decisions that they make. Know that. Know that whatever happened, you acted with your training and experience,
what?
Okay? And you had to handle things, okay?
That's what I was going to at the end.
Hold on. Where you headed? Yeah.
Both the suspect, 57-year-old Anthony George, and the 4-year-old victim, Terrell Miller, were pronounced dead at the scene. When officers entered, Kayana Miller, Terrell's mother, was covered in blood, having been stabbed multiple times. Anthony George was holding a knife when Officer Gok ordered him to drop it. George then grabbed Terrell, holding a knife to the child's throat. Officer Gok fired a single round, striking both George and Terrell, instantly killing them both. George had an extensive criminal history and had previously pleaded guilty to murder in 1995. His most recent charge was for domestic battery. In November 2023, internal investigations concluded that the shooting was justified and did not violate department policy. One investigator stated, "Now as to Terrell Miller,
I mean,
that was found to be accidental.
it was blurred. It's not that I wanted to see, but
or form,
couldn't see.
felt that the officer's intent was to go in."
Guys, we don't know what happened in the last seconds. Maybe the guy knew he was going to shoot. The guy moved the fucking child or whatever. I mean, dude.
There and hurt young Miller. While no action will be taken against the officers involved, Kayana Miller, Terrell's mother, has filed a lawsuit against the officer who fired the shot. The case will be decided in federal court.
Wait, what?
Terrell's mother has filed a lawsuit against the officer who fired the shot. The case will be decided in federal court.
Now, this is something no cop wants to have to live with.
That's
now,
crazy.
I know firsthand that the calls that sound vague are the ones that most likely stay with you forever. There are moments in policing when the sound of a single word or sentence can slice through your chest like glass. And I've been there before, hearing screams behind locked doors.
I cannot do this on stream chat, but I mean, I would have to see, like,
knowing that something terrible was unfolding just feet away but hidden from sight. And it's the most powerless feeling in the job because you don't know if you're about to save a life or walk into a nightmare that scars you forever. We see a man who puts a knife to a child and that probably doesn't feel real even when you're standing right there. There was no pause to process, no luxury of debate, just a split second to end the threat. And people watching from the outside think that split-second decisions are measured in bravery, but they're not. They're measured in impossibility because do you risk one life to save another? Do you hope?
Well, I mean, you know, like, I mean, how do you make that call? It's like impossible, no? And I'm not watching slow motion, surely. Anyway, what else we got there, chat?
Hi, X and chat. Thank you for making my
Oh,
days
it's blurred?
better.
Well, yeah, I mean,
all of you. Much love. XQCL.
I just couldn't see, like, yeah, like, Jesus. I mean, there's like a mess at the top, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, dude, bro, I had to get some form of closure on the video so we can move on. Like, I think Brian Steele. Oh, it's the same guy. Chat, it's Brian Steele. At Disney's eyes, as he pleaded with the judge, allowed Diddy to return home. I sit here with tears in my eyes. I cannot believe we're here. Sean has impacted America in such a positive manner. Sean's father was killed when he was 3. He worked so hard than anyone else. More trauma. His best friend is shot in LA in drive-by shooting. He has an operation and gets addicted to the painkillers given, and he has been high until 2024. Dude, he's been high for years, hasn't stopped once. Jesus, interesting. I mean, this is a lawyer doing his job, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, I can't see your clip. Keep reading. Oh, very cool. Hold on, it says, on occasion, he would hit the woman he loved. Wait, what? On occasion, he would hit the woman he loved. He loved Mrs. Ventura. He has taken responsibility. I have been there when Sean has prayed for healing for anyone he has hurt. Guys, this doesn't read well, guys. I don't know how this played out in court order. I don't know how this kind of was vocalized. I wasn't there, so I can't really tell you, right? Maybe there's like something behind the voice or whatever. But on occasion, he would hit the woman he loved. What? Oh, it was on occasion. Okay, I mean, now that you put it this way, it opens a whole new, this is a whole new scenario now. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. Like, Jesus. Yo, is this guy like doing like live commentary? Whoa, 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 what the fuck is this? Oh, but I mean, I'm not gonna read all this. Fuck that. Sean Combs, if your honor gives me a chance to share my story, this has a positive impact. Thank you to the jury. Your honor gave me the confidence in the jury to believe that I did not have to testify. They sacrificed 8 weeks. I thank them for not guilty. I thank them? I don't get it. So you said not guilty, is that what happened? Interesting. Oh yeah. That was the verdict of the other thing, right? So he's thanking the jury for the not guilty on all the other shit or whatever, right? Like all the bad stuff was taken out. And there's only a few things remaining, whatever, which now he's getting sentencing for, right? Does this guy follow me? Oh, it doesn't. Anyway. Oh, what else we got? Sneaker reseller, Adil. Cool Kicks was apprehended by forgery division.
A giraffe is in the TSA line at the airport. A TSA agent asks
Chat?
him.
Hold on.
What the fuck was that?
What?
What is that?
Jungle to the
Here?
welcome.
Chat? I don't know. What the fuck just happened? Did somebody swat us? I'll be back, chat.
That is crazy.
It was a prank.
Chat, what does this guy normally do? I don't get it. Is he like a streamer?
Chat? What the fuck was that?
Sneaker reseller. Yo, chat, I think the whole market of this like whole reselling shit is like a fucking... this shit's trash. Fuck that. Bro, I get messed with you, chat. Guys, this whole like fucking racket of like reselling and fucking like botting to get all the fucking shit early to scalp whatever. Bro, this shit is trash. It hurts the product. It hurts the product identity that people work fucking years for. That they get their lives to this shit just at the end to yo, I'll sell you this for 500. Fucking scamming everybody. Fuck that. Loser shit.
66
rat
months.
fuck.
Holy crap, tank sex for the stream's dog.
Sorry, bro. I do it for a living. Legit. I don't give a shit. That's some loser shit, pal. That's some loser shit. That's some loser shit. I did it for a living. No, you don't do that for a living, buddy. Buddy.
Une main de Mandy qui peut-être va tout changer. Et voilà, l'arrêt magistral de but, l'a raté, ce penalty. Voilà le leader.
Ok, maybe you do.
Les séries s'arbiquent. On prend les mêmes et on recommence. Et recommençons comme tout à l'heure.
Ouais.
C'est-à-dire un arrêt. 2 heures. Oui, oui. Bien joué. Ça, on pourra
He did the same shot twice?
pas lui enlever. Deuxième arrêt. Mathias Soulé maintenant. Jamais 203.
Wait, 3 times? That this guy is pumped. This is over. He knows it's over already.
Soulé face à Jean. Ah oui, encore un. Il entre dans le livre des records. C'est fabuleux. 3 pénaltys arrêtés. Il a résisté.
That's insane.
Au niveau européen. Une main de Mandy qui peut-être va tout changer. Et voilà. L'arrêt magistral de but.
That's insane.
Ce penalty. Voilà le leader. Les séries s'arrêtent.
They changed the tactic for the last one, and the guy read his play. The guy read every play. I mean, anyway, no matter what anyone say, I know I am truly sorry